Okay, today we are going to talk about the Overwatch PTR patch notes for September 22nd, which carries with it the Torbjorn update, which is, he's certainly a different hero. A lot more aggressive, but first, there's other things in the patch to talk about. So let's start colorblind options. Finally, they figured it out. Customize how team colors are displayed in your UI, e.g. nameplates, HUD health bars, and hero outlines, with a set of 9 different colorblind-friendly colors to choose from. That's all I've wanted. That's all I've wanted this entire time. As a colorblind person, that's literally all I wanted. I didn't want it to tint the whole fucking world. I just wanted to be able to change it so I can see where the fucking armor is on the health bar. But, you know, whatever. Figured it out. Only took 2 years. Got there in the end. Updated visuals for all shields and barriers to increase readability. Basically, they're thicker. And then Bridget got nerfed again. Barrier shield health reduced from 600 to 500. Which I honestly feel is pretty fair, honestly. Because there are a few heroes that just kind of can't really do anything to you because they need to break the shield first, but the shield is too healthy. Like, you can get up on a soldier from pretty far away, and there isn't really much he can do about it, because he doesn't break the shield fast enough to actually start threatening you. So, like, her shield is probably, like, a little bit too healthy, baseline. I wouldn't be surprised if they even reduced it to 400, honestly, but I do feel 600 to 500 is actually, like, pretty fair. As somebody who plays a lot of Bridget, it is kind of stupid how easy it is to walk up to some people, because they just can't break your shield. McCree, combat roll, reduced from 8 seconds to 6 seconds. That's fair. Roll isn't a very good ability, so might as well make it a lower cooldown. Basically, it's a DPS increase. That's kind of it. It's not really used for much other than reloading. It's a very bad movement ability, as far as movement abilities go. So it's basically just like, hey, you get to reload a little bit more often. So far as changes were relatively big. Concussive Blast cooldown reduced from 12 seconds to 9 seconds. Concussive Blast isn't that strong of a cooldown, in all fairness, except on certain maps, so fair enough. So Rocket Launcher, attack speed increased. The recovery has been reduced from 0.9 to 0.75. So 0.9 seconds to 0.75 seconds reload. And then it still does the same damage, but they've changed where the damage is distributed, because now the explosion does less damage, but the impact does more damage. So basically, the AoE is less strong, but it still, if you get a direct hit, it still does the same damage. Explosion knockback reduced by 20%. They already did this once before, so like pretty soon you're going to hit somebody with a rocket and they just flatly aren't going to move at this rate, because they've done this one before. And then self knockback range increased by 25%. So strictly a DPS increase as long as you're good at Pharah, because now you just get to fire a little bit faster, right? And you get to still do the same damage, provided you're good. If you're bad at Pharah, now you do less damage, though honestly not that much, and you'll still, like, dunk on people if they don't know how to deal with you. It's a little, I never really, they describe it as feeling sluggish to use Pharah's rocket launcher. I never really thought that. It was a pretty weird change when I saw it to increase the attack speed, but hey, you know, that's cool. Basically, like, if you're good at Pharah, it's pretty much an objective buff. If you're mediocre or bad, though, get fucked, I guess. You get to fire faster, though, so, you know, maybe. You can just spam at them. May, updated visuals for all abilities. Orisa, Fusion Driver, maximum spread reduced from 0.15 to 0.12. I don't really know what that looks like. Visually, it's kind of hard to envision. But they did reduce it by almost a third, right? Because it's 1.5, so they almost reduced it by 5 at 3. So they've almost reduced it by a third. So that's pretty sick, you know? It makes her a lot better at long range. It's still a projectile weapon, but it's easier to hit people with now. That's cool. Good for Orisa. Soldier also got a buff, number of shots until max spread increased from 6 to 9. Basically, cool. Soldier was already pretty good, so that's just, again, nice, awesome. So here's what we're really here for, though. Torbjorn, right? Oh, a lot of stuff. So, general, reduce the size of Torbjorn's head hit volume by 10%. His head hitbox is, like, ludicrously large, honestly. Like, it's almost harder to not headshot Torbjorn, in all honesty, so that's fair. It reminds, like, it's like old D.Va. Like, just like, it's harder to not headshot D.Va. It's harder to not headshot Torbjorn than to headshot him. So, Rivet Gun primary fire, projectile speed increased from 60 to 70. Again, I don't really know what that looks like, but, you know, it went up by 10, so that's great. Reload time reduced barely. And the turret now prioritizes targets that are hit by the primary fire. So, great, you can actually decide who it shoots at rather than wasting its time shooting at somebody not productive to shoot at. Alternate fire, recovery lowered from 0.8 to 0.6. Given that it's a shotgun, like, that's pretty sick, honestly. Damage lowered per shot, and then reload also reduced, given that, you know, it shares a reload. And spread randomization readjusted, which is fantastically meaningless sounding. So, Forge Hammer, radius increased to align with quick melee, because it was smaller than his quick melee. The thing is, though, that with the way his turret works now, is he basically just has the hammer for posterity at this point. Like, it's not going to be super useful. So deploy turret, now a thrown projectile, automatically builds over 3 seconds, no longer has different level, same damage output as previous level 2 turret. So already that's pretty sick. You just get to lob a level 2 turret out there immediately, and not have to actually worry about it. You can, like, throw it, so that's cool. I don't know what the throw range is, but the cat's up to no good. You just get to chuck out a level 2 turret. It now has 250 health instead of 300 health. It incurs a 5-second cooldown when deployed, and incurs a 10-second cooldown when destroyed in combat. So, don't chuck it somewhere where it's immediately going to get broken, is the moral of that story. No longer able to deploy a new turret if it's in combat, which is while the turret is firing, or if the turret has taken damage within 3 seconds. Can destroy the turret with the interact button, same as translocator. Now will complete self-building once deployed, even if Torbjorn is eliminated. So, I look forward to a play of the game, which is just Torbjorn latch-stitch effort, lobs the turret out there, and then it builds up and kills the entire enemy team. That's going to be great. New ability, replaces armor pack. Armor pack's gone. No more. Scrap, fuck that shit. It was a waste of time anyway. If Torbjorn started winning, he got to keep winning because of scrap, but if he lost, he got to keep losing. He was a very win-more hero. That shit's gone. So now, Overload. Lasts for 5 seconds with a 12-second cooldown. Believe the cooldown is ticking while it's active, but I'm not sure. Temporarily grants 150 armor, and increases attack, movement, and reload speed by 30%. So that's going to be sick, isn't it? You've almost killed Torbjorn, and then suddenly recovers most of his health in armor, and is stronger. So that's going to be pretty scary. You know, he says, I'm going to get this Torbjorn. Oh, no, you fucking aren't. And now, new ultimate, Molten Core, switches from Rivet Gun to his Claw Arm, lasts 6 seconds, fires up to 10 molten globules that create damaging pools where they land for 10 seconds. Bounce off walls and ceilings until coming into contact with the ground. Base damage is 130, but it does 190 to heroes who have armor. Now this was very hard for me to visualize, so I have here a visual aid. It's basically a lava hose. And, like, honestly, I love this video because just the way Hammond walks across it is so depressing. Okay. So, that's pretty sick. And it goes pretty fucking far as well. I don't have... there was another one I've seen. I don't have that one on hand. But it was, like, at the training range. There's the meters indicator. He's not even at the indicators, and he can throw it to, like, the other side. So, it's pretty long range. So, basically what I gather from this is they want this boy to go in. They want this boy to get in there and start brawling and deny a huge area of space. Because suddenly, you just run in with your overload, you got armor, you're going to engage real hard and real fast, and you got to do it hard and fast because you only got 5 seconds, that's not a lot of time. So you go in hard and fast with your shotgun, throw a turret down somewhere, builds itself, don't even have to worry about it anymore, just run in, throw a turret down, sprint at them with your shotgun and fight people, then go use your ultimate, just spray lava all over the objective, and then everybody's like, how about that? It's like if Hammond's ultimate was good. What do you think about that, bitch? And if you got armor, fuck you. Fuck you, tanks. So, I mean, that's cool as well, is to have another hero that is, like, actively anti-tank, right? Because basically the only anti-tank hero we have right now is Reaper. So, having another one would be cool. And this rework strikes me as being better than Symmetra's, because Symmetra's, as we've seen, has ended up not being as good as it sounded on paper. But Torbjorn basically just sounds like a brawler at this point, right? Like, he sounds like he's somebody that gets in there and starts bullying people around. Like, this is, I'm going to reference another game, but if you've played the game, you'll know what I mean. This kit is like the description of a top lane hero in League of Legends. Like, you get in there, you push people around, and you create this big zone where they don't want to be in, because you're scary. You got the turret over there, being scary, you got the lava pool over here, and then, you know, there's the fucking dwarf with the shotgun running around as well. And the hammer. So, doesn't really do a lot, but he's also got the hammer. So, I like it. I think that I'm interested to play the new Torbjorn, because honestly, this sounds like the kind of hero that I'm all about, because I do love the bruiser, brawlery type of heroes. I like to play Bridget for that exact reason, that she's like the most brawler hero in the game, honestly. You get in there and you push people around and you bully people. It's a similar sounding description, but then also with this big, like, team fight utility in Molten Core, because it's just a kind of a big area that no one wants to stand in. And it lasts, like, the fact it lasts for 10 seconds sounds too long, honestly, because I'm just, like, imagining an objective like Hanamura, where just there's lava everywhere on it for 10 seconds, plus the other team members are still in the area as well, right? It's not like there's just the lava there, team fights happening in the vicinity as well. And then there are other ones where it could be even worse, because imagine, like, Sanctum on Nepal, right, where you start pushing into the enemy, and then you throw your Molten Core behind their side of the objective, so suddenly they can't really retreat anymore, because as they start backing up into lava, which is gonna kill them pretty fucking fast, actually. That's a lot of damage, especially to the tanks, right? So suddenly you just give them nowhere to retreat from, because that's the only way you get off the objective on Nepal, is off the staircase behind you. So suddenly you just control this huge space. And they're like, it's also like really fuck you to like a Bastion team comp, right? You want to talk about like a Bastion counter? Here we go. You just pick Torbjorn, build up Molten Core, stop sitting on the payload. There you go. No more pirate ship. There's lava on the pirate ship. What are you going to do about that one? Or, defending team, hey, if you're attacking like Horizon, basically cover the whole objective, bam, cut off, like again, you can cut off their backside, can't go anywhere, because the healers and backliners love to sit like behind the objective, just spray the Molten Core back there, suddenly they have to step forward or die to the lava, and they have nowhere to retreat to suddenly. Or you just fire it on the point and then like push in, like they can't advance in onto you. There's, you know, you can use it to cut off retreat or to force them backwards. So, and then like if you're defending as well, just like draw a line in the sand, right? No crossing. Lava here. And you can combo it as well, right? Graviton, Molten Core. That'd be upsetting. Earth Shatter, Molten Core. That'd be upsetting. Blizzard, Molten Core. A Song of Ice and Fire. That'd be pretty sick. Can't move anywhere, but I'm frozen, but I'm also burning to death. If you can believe it, I know, it's a very upsetting situation. Imagine being me. So, I like it. I think the ultimate is super cool. Like, despite being very hot. I think the ultimate is super cool. So, I'm looking forward to playing this. I think he's cool. I think that when I looked at the Symmetra rework, I didn't really expect her to have, like, a significant impact on how people played the game, really. I thought there was good potential for it, given the way Teleporter worked. I thought there was potential for some cool stuff at, like, an organized level. But Torbjorn, I think, has the potential to actually affect the meta. Because, like, it's a real strong fuck you to tanks, right? So, you know, tank players will be super stoked about that, given that they are the most hard done by souls in the planet. Oh, thank God. Oh, God, the Blizzard just keeps fucking us tank players over. They put Bridget in the game. Oh, and now they do this as well. Fuck tanks. You'll never find a more downtrodden group of people in the entire world than tank mains. Oh my God. Every change that comes into the game, there's a tank player out there crying about it somewhere. So they'll be fucking livid about this one. There's a Reinhardt main out there right now, just in the dark, like, fuck you, tips the table over, rips the hard drive out of his computer, fuck it, what's the point? Target my armor specifically, god damn it. But I think it's cool. I'm looking forward to new Torbjorn. I think he's actually going to, like, affect the way people play the game. Which is cool. He definitely won't be the worst hero in the game anymore, right? Like, I think that one is a relatively safe thing to say, because, like, right now, Torbjorn, like, maybe not the worst, but he's down there, right? Like, he's bottom 5, certainly. He's probably solidly mid-tier, if nothing else, after this, right? Like, he's definitely playable. And you could play him on attack or defense, I think, pretty easily, right? Like, he's very heavily defense right now. This Torbjorn, you could play him on attack perfectly fine. I think he might even end up being better on attack, because Molten Core, to me, it has a defensive application, but when I think about the situation Molten Core is going to be strongest in, to me it's like, the enemy team is tucked in, I throw Molten Core at them, they have to stop being tucked now. Or I throw it behind the defending team, they have nowhere to retreat to. Because that's all defenders do. They can, like, push back up against the wall, right? Let's move the wall a little bit closer. And then it has combo potential as well. So, I think the Molten Core, if nothing else, is pretty sick. And then they've reduced the setup timer from 1 minute to 45 seconds. Thank goodness, 1 minute is so fucking long. That's good. Bug fixes. I don't remember a bug fix that stood out to me. Oh yeah, we still got more Reinhardt bugs to fix, because obviously, right? Oh yeah, this was kind of weird to me, because I was mostly just like, who the fuck even knows, right? To change the direction she was facing when using Translocator to teleport. Fucking, I get so disjointed from teleporting to begin with that I wouldn't even know. Fix the bug, Fix the bug that caused, who cares? Yep, no, Great talk, team. Players to stand on some prohibited rooftops in downtown. Fix the bug that allowed players to stand on this, but like Volskaya and Busan, is this a mistake? The Busan and Volskaya Industries say the same thing. Where's downtown in Volskaya Industries? Whatever. Anyway, so to briefly summarize, fucking sick, finally. Great. Fair. Upsetting to me, personally, but also I feel fair. Great. Objective buff. Pretty much great. Like, definitely, I think, a net positive for Pharah players overall. I mean, it's hard to argue, right? With, like, reduced, basically the same damage, but redistributed. And then, like, I mean, you could argue about these ones, but, like, I think overall, positive for Pharah players. Cool. Probably really fucking sick. Like, I imagine that Orisa players will immediately notice a difference on that, because it seems like the number is probably high enough to be like, whoa, that's a dramatic difference if you play Orisa. Great. Objective buff. Awesome. And then, I personally think that's super sick, even though the tank players are probably crying about it out there somewhere. So, sick though. I like it. I'm looking forward to it. I would love to play a top lane hero in Torbjorn. In Overwatch. That's why I played Bridget. So, thank you very much for watching. If you did, please let me know what you think about the changes as well. I mean, let's be real. I doubt anybody's got any particularly groundbreaking opinions to share on, like, the Soldier 76 change. So mostly like, hey, let me know what you think about Torbjorn. Let's be real now, right? Let me know what you think. I think it's super sick. I think he's actually gonna affect the meta with this change. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching if you did. And I hope you found the video informative.